Hi, I'm Rachel and welcome back to Auxhart Gardening. Today I'm talking about how to save seeds from your radishes. So here in front of me I have what I've been lovingly calling my radish jungle. This is about 10 radishes that I let go to seed, and as you can see it starts with these little flowers, which then once they get pollinated start forming into these little pods. Now I talked about this in another video, but these pods at this stage are actually quite edible. They're much more mild than a radish, but they do have a little bit of that radish kick to them. And there's several ways to eat them, so check out that video if you're interested in that. But in terms of saving seeds, you'll want to wait much longer than this. If we come over here, you can see these are some more mature pods. They're starting to yellow and they're starting to get really tough. And at this point they would not be very edible, but they're not yet quite ready for having the seeds saved. Okay, so let's look a little closer at the different stages of the radish pod. This again is the early stage. This is the stage where it's edible, and if we take one of these and look inside, what we'll find there's little green seeds in here. You can barely see them. They're still kind of covered in all the flesh from the pod. And these are nowhere near close to mature enough to grow if you were to plant them in the ground. Here are some more mature pods. You can tell again because they're starting to feel tough to the touch, and they're also starting to turn a little yellow. If we look inside a pod like this, you can start seeing the seeds a little clearer in a pod like this, but they're still very green, which means that they're not really ready for planting yet. And this is an example of a fully mature seed pod. You can see the whole thing is brown and dried out. It's been detached from the plant for a while, although you can wait for it to hit this stage while everything is on the plant. And if I rattle it, you can kind of hear the seeds shaking around in the pods. So if we go ahead and look at one of these, what we'll see are some nice brown seeds. There we go. They're like falling out of the pod. But these are some dark brown seeds that are definitely ready for planting because they are fully dried. Let me see if I can get you a better view of these seeds. So this is about the color that a mature radish seed is going to be. So harvesting seeds from your radishes is actually very simple. All you have to do is let them do their thing. They'll become kind of a jungle like this and they'll start making those seed pods. Now there are two choices from there. You can wait until you get to the more mature looking seed pods that I showed you, and then cut those off the plant and hang them to dry. Or you can just let the plant dry out on its own and then harvest the seeds from there. Let me show you what I'm doing. So here inside my greenhouse, I have laid out to dry my radish pods. And you can see they're in varying states of driedness. These are mature pods that I clipped off the plant, and I'm leaving in this dry place to dry out in the sun. So the last step, once you've saved your seeds, is to test the germination. Here I have my seeds laid out on a paper towel that is damp inside a sealed plastic bag. I put the date on it, June 16th, and I'm going to wait and see how many of these sprout and then count how many sprout so that I can determine the germination rate of the seeds that I'm saving. So it is 3 days later, and you can see we've got pretty good germination on all of these radish seeds. There's actually only 2 so far that haven't sprouted, and if we assume that they're not going to sprout and that they're not just slow, we're still getting a calculated 92.5% germination rate on these seeds, which is crazy good. So looks like we've got some viable radish seeds. So that's it. That's all there is to saving radish seeds. It's a pretty simple process. You just let them dry out and pull them out of the pods. So I hope you enjoyed this, and if you did, please like and subscribe, very important, And until next time, I wish you happy gardening.